Hey friends, Dustin here with Dusty Outdoors. Welcome back to another adventure. This week, I find myself in Spring Park, which is just outside of Osage, Iowa. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's how I'm saying it. We scored a super nice little campsite here. It's $10 a night. Primitive, there's no electricity or anything like that. But y'all know that's how I roll. And it is right alongside the Cedar River, which is moving pretty fast, to be honest, and it looks a little muddy. And there is, I'm not sure when, I'll have to look up to see when, but there's evidence everywhere of this whole area being flooded. And it looks like probably at least up to my waist in this area here. And right, the bank we're standing on here currently is about 8 feet above river level. So water was high. Got a nice fire pit here, not too full. The charcoal grill is not looking too ideal. I'm not at this park for any particular reason other than I'm ending my work week in this area, so figured I had never been here, saw it on the map, thought we'd come check it out. And so far, I'm loving it. Turns out I forgot my chair, but hey, wouldn't be a Dusty Outdoors adventure without forgetting something that I need. But I guess I don't need it. I got a picnic table there and there, so probably just slide this one over next to the fire pit. All right, let's go see if we can find some wood. All right, we'll see if that takes off in time. Oh, we're getting somewhere with this fire finally. Took a little bit of time to get this thing roaring. All right, well, I think that's good enough to at least start warming up my chili alongside of it. So what I'll do is I'll just take the label off, open the can, and hopefully just let it warm up right in the can. Oh, we got these beans on here a little closer to being right on the fire. And we'll start cooking a hot dog here shortly. These hot dogs are pre-cooked. Well, this park got very busy, not of campers, but of people just driving through here right before it gets dark. Well, we're finally back out. It feels good. It's a beautiful little spot, only $10 a night. I haven't posted a video in about 2 months. And for good reasons, just with school getting over with, busy with the family, had a weekend out with the boys, fishing, had a weekend where my sister got married and I was in the wedding and part of that and part of helping getting it together. Then we had a camping trip with the family with our pull-behind travel trailer. And I don't really film that stuff because it's family time. The past 2 weekends, well, we left on a weekend and returned on a weekend, but we were in Rapid City, South Dakota, doing the whole Black Hills thing for about a week with the family, and that was fun. The beginning of the trip did not start off as planned. Had some car troubles in Chamberlain, South Dakota. And that's right where you drop down to cross the Missouri River. Lauren's car is a 2020 Hyundai Palisade. Super nice car, we love it. But boy, did it let us down at a super inconvenient time. It was something that goes bad eventually on every vehicle, but we had an alternator failure on the way out there, which left us stranded in Chamberlain. And there's a lot of details to this story. It was like a lot went on, but I'm going to spare you all the details. We got a new alternator. We broke down on a Sunday. Obviously, no one was open. So we had to get a hotel until Monday. Meanwhile, we already have our Airbnb from Sunday until the following Friday paid for. So now we're paying on that and a hotel. For Sunday night, Monday night, we hoteled it because Tuesday our new alternator came in, and by about 1 o'clock, about 1 p.m. on Tuesday, a local dealership there in Chamberlain, Wilrott Ford, who was great to work with, by the way, installed the new alternator to get us going. They put us in front of everyone because they knew we were traveling. The new alternator made it 1 mile and completely failed. Internally, it just fell apart and started smoking and sparking. So we drove it back to the dealership because we were only a mile away. I had to order another new alternator. This time we went with OEM Hyundai branded alternator. That was an additional 3 days out. And so what Wilrott Ford did for us, they have a small rental fleet for people that break down, can rent a vehicle, but they were all out. And we have a family of 6, so none of them would have fit us anyways. So they were gracious enough to pull a used Ford Expedition off the lot and allow us to rent that for the rest of the week. So we still salvaged most of our trip. We just did it in the Expedition instead of the Palisade. And then Saturday on the way back through, they left the Palisade out for us. We dropped off the rental Expedition and continued on our way. But nevertheless, that was added about $1,400 onto the trip that a guy was hoping not to have to spend or didn't plan on spending. Had a cushion there in case something went bad like that. So we had a little bit of money there to help us through that, but didn't really want to spend that. Nevertheless, it was a great trip. All 4 kids were with us, and it was one to remember, that's for sure. But basically all that to say, it's been a while since I've made a video. All right, I think that's about ready down there. Oh yeah, we got cheddar hanging off of it. Now we'll grab the old Leatherman. The neighbors down there must either be local or know a bunch of people locally. All right, so again, Clements, white cheddar, bratwurst, some chili, and some good old Car Valley cheese curds. I almost just grabbed that. That would have been a mistake. Well, I was hearing something over there, and at first I couldn't tell what it was, but I definitely know what that is. We hear that sound at home all the time and on the farm. The camera wouldn't have picked it up, but there's definitely turkeys roosting across the river. I can hear them flying up in there. If any of y'all have ever heard a turkey fly up into a tree to roost, they are not quiet about it or graceful in the least bit. There we go. Campfire chili dogs. At a very unexpectedly amazing sight. Cooked to perfection. I think I might actually turn around so I can look at the river. That water's moving. I'm willing to bet it's still high. If it ain't high, it's still flowing pretty quick. All right, we'll get this cleaned up here. If you guys are thinking about setting up a little adventure rig or overnight camping rig, whatever, having a box of baggies in it, so helpful. I had like 2 or 3 mosquitoes on me since I got here, so Knock on wood, but that is not bad at all. So last week I did get out one of the days and tried doing some fishing. So I'll show some of that footage here. I was unsuccessful. Well, I did a lot of fishing, but unsuccessful at catching. My luck's going to change eventually on the channel. We're going to get some fish. Really what I'm set up for is weedy top, lily pad top, whatnot. I'm going to be tossing a topwater frog in, trying to get some bass to strike. So if this is too shallow, it probably won't work, but since we're right here, I want to at least get a couple casts out there. This looks pretty shallow, so we'll see. Dang, look at the size of these shells. Like, that's a big snail. Look at all the shellfish. Out there. All those little things that look like rock are all dead snails, or snail shells. There was a clam over there that was dead inside its shell still. Wonder if they're having some sort of issue, or maybe that's just normal for this lake. Here's one I can feel that's empty, but it's got its little cap on it still, like just right here. Look at that. All right, let's go see if we can find another lake. This one's apparently has great bass fishing on it, but you probably need a boat. It's really big. But we'll see if there's maybe a smaller lake in the area. I'd like to find one with a bunch of lilies and not so shallow. That looked like it was like maybe 2 feet deep, way out. I gotta catch a fish on this channel. Good grief. I think half my problem is I keep trying new areas, except for trout fishing, that was all. Areas that I was used to go trout fishing at, but like I've never fished this lake or don't know anything about it. For the style of lure I'm using. We'll try a couple more spots. As you get over on that other side over there, it gets a little harder to cast because you got overhang. Sadly, I'm afraid that maybe this has just gotten overfished. It used to be a great spot back in the day. I can see fish down there. They're all in that like 6 to 8 inch range though. What? Well, it'll probably be hard to see on camera, but the nice thing is you can see where you've casted, so I feel like I've exhausted all the areas in this spot. Alright, so I'm just going to continue walking around this. It's about 92 degrees out and muggy. We're also right alongside a main road here, if you couldn't hear that. So right there is kind of the area the Amish will hook their horses up to while they fish this. We're gonna head out. Mosquitoes are getting bad. And I'm also not sure what this guy that pulled in a while ago is doing, but I don't like it. Seems suspicious. It was still fun to get out there and fish though, but I am looking forward to catch something soon. I'm going to sit and watch this fire die down and head in and probably go to bed for the evening, so I'll see you all in the morning. Good night, friends. Good morning. Just getting ready here to head outside. We'll go see if Spring Park has a spring somewhere. Last night I had the window open and it was so nice to hear the river trickling by. Definitely heard the owls on and off throughout the night. Turkeys were coming down off their roost this morning a little bit earlier, clucking and making all kinds of ruckus. Actually, we got to turn this on. I'm going to lower the top while we're in here. All right, truck's good to go. Let's meander around here a little bit and see if we can find a spring. So right down there, that stick hanging down in the water, that's what was making my trickling noise all night. The water came down a little bit because those branches right there were touching the water yesterday and they're not this morning. Oh yeah, I can also see some rock on the shore over on the other side and I couldn't yesterday. So that's came down 10 inches, a foot maybe, since yesterday. You can see all the plants are laid flat. All this is all very laid over and muddy, debris caught on everything. Looks like a lot of the gravel got washed out. Yeah, there's a big pile of debris there. Got a mountain biker going by. There's hardly any bugs. I don't know if that's from the recent flooding. You'd think that'd make it worse, but maybe it kind of wiped them all out. I only had just a handful of mosquitoes on me this whole time I've been here. So I kind of walked all over here and I did see there was a map when I came in up at the main entrance. So maybe I'll look at that and see if there's a spring here somewhere. All right, so this is kind of the main part of the park that you drive into. All brand new concrete. It's actually really nice. You got a little section of some small rapids. There's a boat launch right over there. Looks like probably a canoe or kayak launch here. It says there's a spring over here. It's probably all grown over, I don't know. But the lawn mowing people are definitely like taking break over where I want to go right now. And that's kind of awkward. Nice park here. I wish the local town I lived outside of had stuff like this. All right, so it does in fact have a spring, but before I show you that, I figured out why everyone was hanging out over here, the people mowing. One of them slid their mowers down into this bank right here, trying to mow a little too close. But here's that spring. It's actually pretty cool. That's a lot coming out of that. So it looks like on a nice hot sunny day, you can go right in it. Is it nice and cold? Oh yeah, that's some cold water right there. That's actually pretty deep. They have to put that grate across the top portion of it, I'm assuming, so nobody falls in it. That's really cool. Well, friends, it was good getting back on here. I miss you guys. I miss chatting with you guys in the comments. That's crazy what happened to our Palisade on the way out to Rapid City a couple weeks ago, but hey, parts fail sometimes. That was just really bad timing. With that being said, on one of the next couple videos, I hope to get back to knocking off another state on my high point playlist. Not sure which one yet, but with that being said, to the military men and women, past, present, future, thank you for your service, thank you for my freedom, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye, friends.